Hey guys, welcome back to the Jays Fit Down podcast. I'm your host, Jay, and today we're going to be talking about the Indianapolis Colts and the fact that this team is on a 7-1 start to the 2025 season. Daniel Jones leading the way, having an amazing season, probably one of his best as a pro in the NFL. Very impressed by how he's played this year, just the Colts as a team overall. So we'll talk about them a little bit and just where I see them going, man. I mean, for the rest of the season, the trajectory of this team, this franchise, right? So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button there and also follow us on TikTok and Instagram, Jays Fit Down Pod. On the socials, you already know how to do. Just follow us there. Also, like, comment your thoughts on the Indianapolis Colts. Can this team make a huge playoff run? What do you think, guys? Let me know. But like I said, the Colts, man, this is a team that has struggled to find consistency at the quarterback position over the last, probably 6-7 years. I mean, really since Andrew Luck retired back in 2018. And ever since then, man, it's just been a revolving door of quarterbacks. I mean, you've had Jacoby Brissett, you've had, Phillip Rivers, you've had Carson Wentz, you've had Matt Ryan, Anthony Richardson, it's been a back and forth for Anthony Richardson. Now he's on the bench. They bring in Daniel Jones in the offseason, right? Daniel Jones, as we all know from his days with the Giants, not the best start to his career, but then again, look where he was playing in New York behind an atrocious offensive line and very just atrocious organization in general with the play calling and everything like that. And just, lack of talent out there at the wideout position, right? So you get Daniel Jones. He goes to Minnesota, plays in that Kevin O'Connell system. I mean, he's backing up Sam Darnold, of course, last year. But, in practice, you're in the film room. You're getting those reps in practice. And, you're learning from a guy like Kevin O'Connell, and he's helping you hone those skills in, right, which is benefiting you. So the Colts signed him in the offseason. And, man, Daniel Jones, 2,062 passing yards, 71.2 completion percentage. And 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's had a great season so far, and the Colts are 7-1, right? And people are saying they haven't beat any good teams and stuff yet, and this and that, And I'm like, listen, here's the thing about the NFL, right? I mean, I think people have to understand, like, while some teams may just be really bad or whatnot, these are still professional football players, And in the NFL, wins are wins, so every win is important. Every win counts. So this team is 7-1, no matter how you want to look at it. Now, again, you can test that to see, it's like, okay, is this team really battle tested? When it comes to playoff time, will they be able to perform against the likes of, Baltimore if they were to make the playoffs? Probably not going to make it this year, but, the likes of Kansas City or Buffalo or, the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Teams like that in the playoffs, so that's the only real question I think a lot of people are having right now with the Colts. It's like, yes, they're having a fantastic start to the season, but when it comes down to crunch time, as we get closer and closer to that time of the year, will they be able to win? Will they be able to go in there and, play their style of football and come out with a victory? That's the question. And I think right now, though, looking at it, I think Indianapolis is in the best position as a franchise that they've been in a long time, and part of that has to do, Shane Steichen coming over from Philly a couple years ago, and implementing his style of offense there in that organization. Jonathan Taylor, he's been a pro throughout his career with the Colts, and this year he's having an MVP-type season, 850 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns this year on the ground. He's having a fantastic year, and pairing that with Daniel Jones and how he's playing and the Colts, that's one of the reasons why they're playing the way they are right now. And I think really this team has a chance to make a run this year. I really do. I think if they just stay the course, and improve defensively in certain areas, get a little bit more of a pass rush going, they can kind of figure that pass rush out, maybe trade for a guy, maybe like Myles Garrett if he becomes available on the trade block, or, Kayvon Thibodeau, he's been mentioned to be probably into some trade rumors. So you just add somebody, like just a decent pass rusher to that lineup with DeForest Buckner and Zaire Franklin. Those guys, I think, would be a good addition for them defensively. But other than that, secondary is decent. Kenny Moore and those guys back there. I think offensively, I just talked about Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. You got Alec Pierce. You got Tyler Warren and Michael Pittman having great seasons so far. Tyler Warren leading the team with 492 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Michael Pittman 446 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. So Daniel Jones is getting them the ball a lot early and often in games, which is what I like to see. Get your playmakers the football out in space. Tyler Warren was a great draft pick for this team when they picked him up out of Penn State. I mean, I knew the Colts were going to draft him because tight end was a spot that they desperately needed production from because they've been lacking a good tight end for a long time now since, Jack Doyle was there in Indy. And they pick up Tyler Warren in the draft. And he's been great his rookie year. He's only going to get better. I mean, playing in this Shane Steichen Tyler offense that is friendly to tight ends. We saw that in Philadelphia with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert and those guys. So I think this is going to be huge, man. I think this is they've impressed me, man. I did not see this coming from the Colts. I didn't see this coming from Daniel Jones either. But it's amazing what you can get out of a quarterback when you provide him protection. It's amazing what you can get out of a quarterback, man. When you give him time to throw the football, time to scan the field, time to make his reads, to go through his progressions, get the ball outside the numbers, inside the numbers, which is what Daniel Jones has been able to do through his time in Indy so far this year on a consistent basis. Like I said, I like what I'm seeing out of him and this team, man. And another thing I want to talk about too is the owner, right? Irsay Gordon, I can't remember her first name, but she, it's been reported, several times, and they posted a lot, on social, but she's constantly down the sideline wearing a headset, writing notes, things like that. I mean, you don't see a lot of owners doing things like that, being so heavily involved with football operations. A lot of owners are not involved with football operations. I mean, they're more so involved with the business side, the money-making side, of course, right? She's heavily involved in her team in their success, right? Because she wants to know, how they need to improve by the product they put out on the field each and every Sunday, each and every week. So that's, she's down there getting her notes and observing everything. I mean, that to me is what separates good teams from great teams, and the effort you put in to making your team better, to wanting to improve each and every week, and the fact that the Colts have her running things over there. I mean, that organization, it's a good sign for the future ahead, So I just want to come on here and give the Colts credit for how they've been playing this year. I don't normally talk about the Colts on my podcast a lot, but today I wanted to do it because, again, like I said, you can't ignore it. This team has the best record in football right now, however you want to splice it. And I want to get better from there. Again, I would really love to see them get a pass rusher for a trade deadline coming up here next week. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. A lot of teams looking to improve at certain positions. Got a lot of wide receivers on the trade block this year, So that could be on the trade block this year. That'll be very intriguing to observe and see how that plays out. But overall, I think a lot of people just are shocked, man, that Daniel Jones is balling out this year. I mean, but it shouldn't be much of a shock though. I think it's sometimes it's really just situational, man. A lot of scenarios are just situational. A lot of players, if they have a bad season or if they have bad stretches of play. A lot of times that could be, especially when you step back and look at the history of the organization that they're playing with, can explain why they might be having those starts to the season, those seasons that they have. And you look at Daniel Jones with his career with the Giants. That's a perfect reason why that organization is a dumpster fire. So, now they got Jackson Dart. Here's hoping they don't do him like they did Daniel Jones. But focusing on the Colts, though, this is a team to watch out for, guys. Really.